G'day, I'm Mick from Deep Creek Farm Stay. Today I'm going to do a tour of the place and show you all the animals. Thought I'd start up the front. Good a place as any to start, but we've got a small paddock here next to the house. It's right next to the road. Donkeys spend about an hour a day in here each afternoon, eat a bit of grass and get a bit of a walk around. I'll show you where they spend most of their day shortly. House is just over here on the right with a bit of a front yard. The chickens are out here at the moment. They go where they like. I'll show you where the chicken coop is, but it's around the other side of the house. That's our Mediterranean miniature donkeys. That's Lucy there in front of us, and Donnie over there. They're half brother and sister. Now walk this way down towards the yards and where the donkeys generally stay. Back further down that paddock, back with these set of yards. This is the handling facility for the cattle and the sheep, and this is the paddock where the donkeys spend most of their day. Again, that's a house up there. That's this paddock here. Next paddock down is where the goats live. Just dog wire. It's old dog wire fencing right around it that needs redoing, but it's in the list of things to do. Goats are in there. So next paddock down here for the goats. Usually they're the first ones up for a bit of attention, but they mind their own business. They're Australian miniature goats. That's Billy and Clover on the left, Millie and Tilly. Believe it or not, this joint's usually pretty clean, but they've got a pile of burn pile down there, but they pull all the wood and the branches out of it and all around the yard. We'll burn that in winter. Just go down that alleyway now. Goat's pen still in there. Down to the creek walk. Just popped out the end of that alleyway there. That's the goat's penned in behind that tree, behind that tarp. This is the view. Across the cows, dam wall. Across the dam. And the sheep and the calves at the moment are up in that first one. We'll just move further down there into the creek bed and show you that. Walking down into the creek here now. Pathway down there. Creek bed. Right into the sun, but back up to the house that way. This is a creek. Not much water in at the moment. Good spot to come and sit and de-stress. And I've cleared, I don't know if you can see it with the light, but I cleared a fair bit of the pathway along there so you can walk along for a fair distance pretty easy enough. This is Deep Creek. I'll head back up. Walking back up to the house now along the edge of the dam. That's the view of the front paddock there. Calves and the sheep. So we've numbered them. That's paddock 1, 2, 3 and on down the line. Nothing in paddock 2 at the moment, but then 3 got the cows, nothing in 4. This is that front paddock, paddock 1. Like I said, the calves are in at the moment, weaning with all the sheep. Got a good system in place up the back for rotational grazing both the cattle and the sheep, but I haven't figured out a way of doing it with the weaning calves and the weaning lambs and all that. So what I've done, I've plonked them all in here just for the couple of weeks it'll take. This paddock's probably maybe 100 metres by 100 metres. We built this shelter late last year. No one uses it though, they'd all rather get rained on, I think. This one's got the dam itself sort of butts up to it, but I've run a line of electric along there just to stop the cattle in particular. The sheep won't go in it, but the cattle from getting in there and wrecking the banks, so to speak. So there's a 250 litre tank there that's on a float valve for their water. This is the calves. So their mum's a Dexter's and their dad is a drought master. That one there on the right, however, is a Frisian ring-in. Sheep are a Dorper Damara cross, I think. Bloke I bought them off said possibly a bit of Persian, who knows, but they're pretty good, self-sufficient, shedding, low worm sort of burden. Don't need to do much by way of treatments or anything for worms, and I think the rotational grazing helps with that sort of thing. I am bringing them down a bit of hay just because they're weaning, and as you can see, there's not a lot of feed in here, but they're pretty happy. Paddocks, so this paddock was pretty much set up when we bought it as it is. There was a line of electric around that inside there, if you can see. It was set up for horses, which is good and bad. I've got to redo a fair few fences and I'll show you that later. But it's got electrical around it, which I guess is a bonus. That second paddock over there has nothing in at the moment. There's a line of bamboo up that side there, which is good, and the animals use that for shade and shelter. Got a pump that'll pump out of that dam for irrigating grass and when it gets dry. We'll go up there now to the corner of that second and third one, have a look at those cows and the paddocks down there. Back over in that corner of that, on the far side of that second paddock, looking back towards the first paddock. Sun's right in the eye, so you probably can't see much. It spins around to the third paddock. At the moment the mothers are in here, the cattle, just to separate them while they're weaning. I've just thrown some hay over the fence from there too, keep them quiet for a minute. But they're Dexter's, Dexter Lowline cross, which is another small breed. At the moment they've got the run of this smaller paddock in here as well. Probably 150 metres by 150 metres, and there's a small dam down there where I'll show you. Once they're finished weaning, we'll set back up the rotational grazing system. I've got this laneway down here that runs down the edge of the paddocks as well. This is so this place was set up for horses. You can see that this whole fence is that horse electric tape. Again, it's good, but it really is only psychological. Any one of these cows could easily, push through that. So one of the little jobs I want to do is hook up something more permanent in there as well. Still with some electric, but some wire and whatnot. Planted a couple of mango trees over here, and the plan is to use this area here to maybe put half a dozen mangoes. On the far side, there's an open area on the other side of that gully up there. I want to put fruit trees up there, and then I'll show you up here further on the lane. On the left, there's another open area which I want to use for orchards as well. Small dam down here on the right. I don't like the cows in it. It's small and they sort of cave the banks in and that. So again, down the track, I'm going to put a fence, like just a single line of electric around that again, probably keep them out of it, and then put in a permanent tank, again, same sort of style as the one up in the first paddock, with a float valve or whatever to stop them, that'll stop them going in there anyway. Little overflow here of the dam. Doesn't take long to fill that one up, it's only small. Over on the left here is that other area where again I want to establish some fruit trees. And then back up to the fourth paddock here, which is still set up from their last rotational graze. So I'll have to fix that up before I stick them back in there again. This one's got a 400 litre tank trough for them for the water. Again, I've got a float valve on it, but it's set up in series with the other one. So when I turn the float up valve, when I turn the tap on for that one up the front, this one fills up as well, even though there's no cows in it. 150 wide by probably 200 long, this paddock, with this laneway down the left hand side. We'll go down the back now and have a look at the fifth paddock. This is the fifth and final paddock, bigger again. Again, it's probably 150 wide that way. That's the fence into the fourth one there. That's probably 250 that way before the trees. So the tree line's the boundary, the creek down there. There's a small sort of non-permanent creek in here. It's just got a cool little camping spot down here next to this creek in the shade. So all in all, we've got 20 acres here. We do lease some additional land as well, but the main, spot that we own is 20 acres. Cows are doing the dance, fighting over scraps of hay that are left. Heading on back up to the house there, up that way now. Another shot across the first few paddocks. Back up the front, that's the chicken coop near the shed. Up to the house. Chooks, they get it let out mid-morning each day, once they've laid their eggs. Garage. That's the holiday unit up there. Views off the veranda. Down in the horse arena. Horse arena there, we haven't got any horses and sort of no intention of getting them short term, trying to figure out what we're going to do with that. That's the tour of the place done. I'm thinking now I want to make a go of this YouTube business, so if you want to subscribe, that'd help me out a lot. Thanks for watching.